It's like the second generation iPad, but there's like a better one, but
That's really good.
this still works pretty well. So.
Amazed, yeah.
And it's Kairo Kings, correct?
Kairo Kingdom.
Kairo Kingdom. Gotcha. All right. Well, this is Jackie with Inthekeyofchange.com. I'm here with Kairo Kingdom at Warp Tour in Virginia today. And guys, you're more of an electronic-based band, correct? So what can fans who come to Warp Tour who are big fans of rock music, how are they going to get interested in your band?
We have a lot of people that don't even know our names and they come to the stage because the music we play is kind of a mixture of electronic dance music and rock, and bass music itself. Dubstep is kind of that crossover thing of the two genres. So the energy and the feel is kind of the same, but the instruments are different. That's why a lot of kids like it, and we've had a great time so far.
Great. So you've made a point to sort of leave a mark with people that are preferring rock or come for a rock show, but you bring your own little flavor.
Yeah, I think since Skrillex and a couple of other EDM artists here in America are so successful, and a lot of more festivals are really successful, like EDC in Las Vegas have 120,000 people 3 days in a row. And I think that was a step for the Warped Tour to say, like, people are here, the young kids, they are really open-minded, not narrow thinking in a genre box or something. And it's a kind of test, and I think it's quite successful. We are really happy with that stage here.
Very nice. So how do fans react to your music in the U.S. versus in the U.K.?
We're actually from Germany, so
Sorry, in comparison from, let's say, Europe in general
that's good.
to the U.S.
it's not a country difference so much, it's more of a genre difference.
Yeah.
We're used to playing in clubs and at like EDM festivals, and then people there are very educated about the sound we play. So if you play a track that nobody likes, people will stop dancing in the club. But at Warp Tour, people come to listen, and they stand there, and if there's a track they don't like, they will not leave. And there's a lot more interaction. We clap, and they clap. It's a lot of fun, and it's completely different to what we're used to. And we're slowly getting into the whole stuff. And like, I'm just saying, we went in Jersey, we went crowd surfing for the first time. We never did that before because we saw the people in the big stages do it, and so you know that's the biggest difference, how people react.
Yeah, and of course it helps that you have this kind of festival, so many stages, people have to walk around, and there's a big chance that people just hear and stop and hear your music and come and join and have the fun with us.
Are there any bands that you're looking forward to listening to?
A couple, actually. I like Real Big Fish. Bring Me the Horizon is great. Love their melodies. There's MC Lars, who's on our stage. He's funny as hell. He's a rapper. We love Wallpaper. Go Radio was great too. So we're just walking around, and we stop, and we normally don't even know the names of the bands, but we just enjoy the music. So it's great.
I admit, before I was here part of the tour, I hardly know the names of the other ones, but yeah, it's a really cool thing to check them out.
So it sounds like you're fans of yourselves, of a lot of different kinds of genres of music.
Yeah.
What are some bands that you pull from track-wise that people would be surprised to hear?
A lot of 80s and 70s stuff, actually. So our music is a fusion of different sounds, and we've been producing music for a long time. So we just mash up things. We mash up hip-hop. We have a lot of 80s samples in there, and we use a lot of melodies from the past and samples
Like you
that...
said, rock influences. We work with samples from the past, like a little bit the old school stuff. So yeah, it's a real cool fusion, I would say.
There's nothing wrong with old school. As someone a little bit older and wiser, you know, the kids don't...
Work before will work today too, and a lot of people don't know those samples anymore, but you know, we kind of know what happened back then in the rave scene, so, and it works today, so it's great.
So a lot of the bands on Warped Tour are bands that play live instruments, and you sort of mix tracks and make your own sound live.
Yeah.
How do you make sure that fans are sort of involved in your visual performance? What do you guys do to sort of not only get the kids interested in what they hear, but also in what they see? Because it's got to be a bit tougher.
Yeah, especially here. When I heard the first time we have just a set like of 30 minutes, I was like laughing at myself first, but after the first show I was like, okay, because it's just much more compressed and people really standing there and look at you. And it's really important, like Dominic said before, to work with them, to entertain, and to get them into it. So yeah, nevertheless, it's first the music, of course, yeah. And it's funny that you ask this question, because we have read an article before from another writer who was saying, like, it's a bit sad that the Warped Tour has this year DJs on board who just waving with your arms and press a kind of button. And I think it's just a misinterpretation of the whole thing. He doesn't understand the concept of electronic music. There is actually no instrument who would be able to play these kind of sounds we created first in the studio. So how can we present them? Of course, we're pressing buttons, we're remixing and stuff like, but there is a lot of work before, and we presented it here. And this kind of music actually is not presentable with live instruments that way, how it is produced. So
I think for me, it's just being a little bit retarded on stage. Like we do what we do in the clubs. We dance and we show people that we're having a lot of fun, and that kind of, the crowd feels that, and people start dancing, and that's pretty much the goal. When we start off, people stand, and when we end, everybody's dancing, and that's the goal. Which doesn't mean, like, I can play 3 instruments, and we're not like stupid people that sit in the studio and just use computers to make music. It's just a different approach, and that's why people feel it. Like we have the same soul as any rock artist. That's
yeah, and you can put on 10 DJs, give them the same set list, they play all the same tracks in a row, and there will be still a difference. So people see if it is really just, if it is coming from the inner side, or if it's just button playing or something. I'm 100% convinced of that.
It sounds like you guys have a lot of musical talent that people may not get to see offhand, or even just listening. It's sort of a dual, a real performance-based scene. So that's great. When can fans expect new music?
We have a whole bunch of tracks waiting to be released. Unfortunately, it's summer now, and there's a little bit of a hole in the market. So we'll come back in end of August, beginning of September, with a couple of tracks, at least 4 or 5.
There is
pipeline's full.
I think there's a new Mousetrap compilation coming with 2 tracks from us, and a new single on Simplify, probably a new Glitchhop track, a new Electro House on Diffuse Records. So there's a lot of coming.
Oh, so a lot coming up. So what's next after Warped Tour for your band?
Shambhala in Canada.
Yeah, right after the tour, right, a 2 months bus tour, there's a 3 days camping festival out in the bushes in Canada, which is really successful all over the years. I think it's already 10 years established, or a couple of years at least. And yeah, we are pretty proud to play there as well.
Very cool.
And we're planning a second US tour in fall, and have an Australia tour planned for Christmas times, when it's nice and warm down there.
Good timing. So stay tuned for more from Kairo Kingdom. This is Jackie with Inthekeyofchange.com.